Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Brogan. Brogan, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So, Brogan, let us know where you live and what you do.
So I run a new media production company out here on the west side of Los Angeles. We obviously travel wherever they need us, but we're about 2 years old, and we're doing basically new media, marketing, brand story videos, commercial work, and podcasts.
Awesome. So, I can understand you are a founder, so you might have a lot of hats, but what are your core responsibilities in this business?
Yeah, so core responsibilities, I would say, mainly just day to day, I would say producer, if you will. We make the calls, we put things together, front end, back end, stuff like that. I do a little bit of editing. We have an amazing editing team though, so they kind of come in at the last hour and save the day. So, shout out to them. And then, my partner and I, we switch off with directing. So when we do have our, shoot days on bigger shoots, smaller shoots, we normally switch off with the directing role and, camera operator, whatever needs to be done, sound even. So I would consider myself more of a, video producer off
Awesome.
of the founder role.
All right. It sounds really fun, but I'm sure there are a lot of challenges that you face every day. So, what is the biggest challenge that you have ever faced, and how you were able to cope up with it?
Yeah. So some of the biggest challenges I think we faced have been, obviously the beginning stages of, starting a company and everything, a new company, getting your ducks in a row, getting systems, SOPs in check and stuff like that. Have been good. Some of the other struggles have been just, the certain industries and, people that, you're working with. I mean, every project is different. It's, people will be like, well, why don't you just have a set price rate, or why don't you just have 3 base prices? And it's kind of impossible. I mean, everybody's wants and needs are different. And, our main goal is kind of to, help companies look good, brand wise, website wise, everything. So yeah, those have been some struggles. Also just, I would say just like what's going on as well, for, this past month, especially with like the LA fires and everything. I mean, just radio silent, just no comms on things, and just kind of, just hanging in there, telling yourself at night, like, hey, just hang in there. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. But other than that, yeah, it's fun. I mean, we're up for a challenge. That it was a big risk going into this industry and starting a business, just, in general. I think everyone can relate to starting a business. So we definitely, we knew it wouldn't be easy.
Makes sense. Starting a business is always a hassle, and there are a lot of risks involved in it. So, when you were thinking about starting this business, what was the inspiration behind, and what was the why you started this business?
Yeah, so it's a longer story. I'll try to uh keep it short. But my partner Joseph and I, we were neighbors back in middle school, grade school, stuff like that. We had like a little YouTube show we would do for the schools and everything. And I always had a love for film and media. And this was in Minnesota, so we ended up studying film and business together in the Midwest, and then eventually we moved out to Los Angeles. So I got into movie production. Joseph was more creative, music industry, video production, stuff like that. So I kind of saw, being on these movie sets and everything. I mean, the roles I was in, you know, production assistant, assistant director, production coordinator, kind of like these mid-level roles, but they're so important, if you will. So, you know, I loved what I was doing, and, you know, hoping to grow in, you know, this industry, mainly like with Lifetime TV, kind of those like, you know, B-list soapy films, super, super funny stories. And then, yeah, everything kind of cut off during the pandemic. I went actually into a healthcare role, uh, kind of more in COVID testing, and a little bit of a miracle in disguise. You know, I was, you know, very early on in the company, learned a lot about how to start a business. And I mean, I saw a lot of like, I don't know how you'd say it, maybe unorganic growth. It was, you know, something that was going on. Everybody needed a COVID test. Everybody needed a vaccine. And so it was a very fast paced, startup culture. So after, you know, after I left that company, you know, I knew it was time to get back into my roots, get to back into film production. And so Joseph and I were like, let's do this. You know, let's get after this. Let's give it a shot. I feel like we know how to shoot, we know how to film, you know, we know how to run a business together. He also worked with me on the in the COVID testing era as well. So yeah, it felt like time. And yeah, I'm happy we took the risk. It was definitely scary, you know. It just could have just gotten another job or something like that. But yeah, I hope that answers the question. That's the short version. We could talk for hours about the journey, but
Comprehensive, still comprehensive. All right. So, in terms of your audience, from last 2 years, what is your targeted audience exactly? How you will define
um audience as in like the clients we
clientele? Yeah.
work for, or kind of the people who are watching
The
the
people who
our.
are watching, the people who are obviously the end user who are watching your content.
We're not so, I mean, with the podcast thing, you know, we work with a lot of, you know, I was saying this before, a lot of people use these podcasts as like a marketing thing. And then a lot of people also just do it because they've got great information. So I'd say our audience right now, based on our clientele in the podcasting world, a lot of aviation, private aviation professionals, and a lot of like artists and entrepreneurs, if you will. And as for like our more commercial work side of things and kind of the other stuff we do, I would say a lot of like aviation and entrepreneurial audience, definitely.
All right, all right. This is a safe, I can say this is a safe audience, but still, your work is again on screen, and the audience is probably the whole audience is in probably whole world. So, have you ever faced any controversy, any sort of like that?
Controversy. Can you enlighten me a little bit? What do you mean?
Controversy in any sense, like on your work, any controversy on your work where anybody, because when you are on the screen, you have to face a lot of people who may be thinking on the other side of the coin. And I know sometimes people start doing comments, even if you are uploading some content on the YouTube, people start doing some comments against your
Yeah.
work. You are not doing this in a right way, and you are scammers, sort of like that. Anything, like any
Yeah,
term.
totally. You know, when I think of it, you know, we've been pretty lucky. You know, we obviously have, you know, clients that come back to us, and you know, there's definitely going to be a few more revisions on some of the videos that we're sending over, just more so editing and style wise. You know, we've been able to, and we're not really doing movies or anything quite yet. You know, we've got some scripts out, but yeah, controversy. Yeah, we've been pretty good. I can't say we've ran into any kind of stuff like that. You know, I'm trying to think on the podcast, but yeah, we've been pretty good. I've been on some interesting podcasts, but you know, yeah, no, it's been all right for sure.
Awesome, awesome. So, with your work, marketing is attached for sure. In fact, marketing is for every business, not just for your business. So, how you are handling the marketing? I'm not sure if you are doing any marketing offline as well, because I believe your business must be on the most of the time it is on the online marketing. But like how you are handling this side? Are you using social media or word of mouth? So how this is working.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we've been, I'd say 95% of our marketing has been word of mouth. We've been very fortunate, just with, I guess good customer service, good, client relationships, just kind of working really hard to build relationships and going above and beyond, under promise, over deliver. So, we get a lot of new clientele on, shoots that we go to, or, just old clients reaching out, referring us, stuff like that. We try to post on Instagram, social media platforms, mainly Instagram. That works too. We'll get some DMs and stuff like that. And, sometimes they go somewhere, sometimes they don't. But it's really those warm leads have been word of mouth for us. So it's been interesting. The other thing that I talking to you about has been LinkedIn.
Mhm.
We do a little outreach on LinkedIn, but we mainly just like to share our work and stuff like that. And I love connecting with people. People reach out all the time. I love taking meetings and hearing what people want to do and trying to find a way to work together, if you will. Yeah, it's always worth it. Take every opportunity like a job. So
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I believe this is the biggest validation. If you are getting word of mouth, you are getting work from the word of mouth. This is the biggest validation. In fact, this is how me and Dan started the business. When me and Dan started the business at that time, Dan was my client. He gave me some work, and I did it well. And after this, he helped me to win some more work as well. And when we performed well in that work as well, and that company gave us a testimonial, a video testimonial on it, at that time, Dan said, okay, we are going to start the company collectively. So, yeah,
perfect.
this is the biggest
Yeah.
thing. If you can achieve it, this is the biggest thing. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, now, Brogan, how you are measuring your success, because measuring success can be based on the revenue as well. Obviously, this is the easiest way to measure a success. But do you have any other parameters to measure your success?
Managing, you said managing, right?
Measure your success. To measure your success, yeah.
Measuring. Yeah. Can you kind of enlighten me a little bit? What do you mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
measuring the,
How do you measure the success for your business?
so yeah, that's a good one. So, we, I- in my eyes, helping someone, build their brand, get their work out there with their whether that's their podcast, their commercial, their brand story video. I think a large portion of measurement for that success is like watching people, like other people's companies and brands grow. And I'm a part of that, or like I help them with that. I really think that is not only like makes me feel good and sleep at night, but that's a big one for us. Over over the whole finances and everything else. That's a really big one for us. It just makes me happy. It's doing what we love, and people are excelling from it. So I think that's probably number one for uh how we would measure our success. I think the other big thing is just being a founder. It's kind of, it's hard. We obviously have a small company. We have about seven employees. So we're very small, still on the scrappy side of things, if you will. But I feel like we're making a lot of success because I mean, we treat everybody great. You know, we pay everybody great. You know, we get lunch, we have meetings, we have great meetings, we do outings. I think just having a great team is, you know, and it's hard to, you know, fathom sometimes, but that's a huge success measurement for me as well. Just knowing that, you know, like you're taking care of the people that are just going above and beyond, you know, for this vision. So here's your question.
Yeah, in fact, the success of clients is, I believe, the greatest feeling and the biggest happiness whenever your clients are getting success because of you, and you can tell anybody, "Oh, see, this is my client, and he's growing really well." So this is the most proud moment, I believe. Awesome. So, what are your growth plans in, or the expansion plans in next six to 12 months, like the short-term goals?
Yeah. So yeah, couple goals within the next couple of quarters. I would say, you know, we've been really kind of diving deep with, you know, like the aviation world in that industry, which we love. It's been just really great. You know, we'd like to niche down more with that. Whether that's helping like companies with their ads, podcasts, or just like even event coverage and stuff like that. We're trying to have longevity with this industry and, you know, get more into it. So that's definitely a big goal for us. Um, we're definitely looking to, you know, build our team up a little bit more. I think we're okay on certain departments, but definitely, you know, working more hard into, yeah, like what we were talking about, maybe some other marketing, getting better on, you know, social media and just kind of, um, our brand, if you will, you know, just kind of like how like our brand and who we are, you know, whether that means me showing face more and Joseph and I kind of, you know, being more of a public figure in that sense. That's kind of a, you know, personal goal for us too. So that's something like that. You know, we're hoping to get into new sort of office situation soon. So that'd be a huge win if we were able to do that. We have a spot right now, but you know, it'd be cool to just, you know, have something a little bigger with maybe like our own studio and stuff. It's very difficult to, you know, open up a studio and, you know, provide passive income with clientele and stuff in a studio. I mean, location, price, I mean, it's just by the dollar. So, um, yeah, those are a few ones. You know, I'd say we'd like to start kind of getting in, and this is maybe past the 6 month thing, but definitely this year we'd like to launch a script off. We've been working hard on a script. It's a true story. Um, it's a good one, and it's more of like a comedy drama, but it's like a very real story. So that's like a big goal. But we definitely do foresee that happening and actually doing a little more narrative because we're very narrative driven company. I think that, you know, instead of just doing like an ad that just is showing, for example, a phone or an app, we like to make a story within the commercial about the phone and the app or how it actually helped someone within the ad. It's not only more entertaining and attractive to an audience, but you know, narrative is a beautiful thing. You know, when you compare audio and moving photos, and then there's a story behind it. It's really cool stuff. So,
Where this story will be published? On what
oh
plan?
yeah, oh so yes, excuse me. The movie script, right?
Yeah, yeah, the movie script.
Yeah, so we've been writing it. It's probably in, you know, it's in very early stages. So, you know, we would basically, you know, we've been looking for writers and people to kind of go more hard on, the character development aspects and just even dialogue, if you will. I'm not the strongest, movie script writer, screenwriter. So definitely working with that, and then talking to a distribution company. We have a couple people that we just happen to know just in this community on the West Side here. So, ideally it would go into AMC theaters for a certain amount of time, and then we would basically bid with, Hulu or HBO or something, and it would go on those streams. But I shouldn't, you know, toot the horn right now because we don't know where it would go. But that would be ideal, is what I'm saying. That would be great.
I
Yeah,
wish
that'd be very fun. It would be our
I'm
first long form narrative project for sure.
awesome. I wish you best of luck for this for sure.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
what advice would you give to someone who is thinking to start their own business, maybe sort of the same niche?
Yeah, so I would say to start, and I've heard this before too, but it definitely, like, if you know what industry or what kind of business you want to start, that's like really great news in my opinion. That's like great, like blocker removed. And if not, finding people that, have done it, or working for someone who is, building a business. I think the whole startup thing, startup culture gets a lot of, hate, and it's crazy. That I'm getting messages at 9 p.m. But yeah, there is some things that sometimes have to go down at, on a Sunday at 9 p.m. I'm sorry. I just, there's some stuff that happens. So if you can kind of get in and see for yourself how everything works, I'd say that's step one. And yeah, obviously figuring out what you want to start. If you have got a great idea, just like taking that risk. I mean, we've seen a lot of times, just in these 2 years, where it's kind of like, shoot, like, it's quiet, or things aren't working out, or there's been mistakes that have happened, or we're doing too much maybe at once, and it doesn't turn out to be the best. So I would say, just like, after taking that risk, like, just like, don't give up on it. Sounds, cliche, but don't give up, finish the fight. Believe in yourself. And if you're taking care of good people who are working for you, and if you're taking care of yourself, it's worth it. And if you truly believe in it, yeah, just hang on, hang into things. It could just be tomorrow morning you'll get a call. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And especially in those, beginning days, when you don't really, you know what's going on. You're trying to get all of your SOPs and, systems in order. I definitely recommend, like, we use Notion, like a software, or a management, software, something like that. But yeah, I would say just like, have something you believe in, and if you're ready for the risk, yeah, just roll with it. Don't stop. I think the definition of an entrepreneur would be, build the bridge. If it falls, just build another. Keep building it until, like, until it stops falling. Just keep building the bridge, or the building, or whatever you're building. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks for the
Yeah,
precious.
firsthand experience here. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
That's great. That's great. Indeed, that's great. So, at the end, Brogan, please let our viewers know how they can reach you. You can share your website, your social media handles, email, whatever you want to
Great.
share.
Yeah, great. So if you want to follow our company on Instagram, it's Pacific Coast Pictures. Like, it's at Pacific Coast Pictures. Our website is pacificcoastpictures.com. You can see some of our latest work on there. It's constant updating on that. So yeah, check us out there. If you want to reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn. It's Brogan Moriarty. And then my personal Instagram is Brogan Moriarty as well. If you want to see me singing in my car, I'm kidding. I'm kidding around, but yeah, that sums it up. My business partner, his name is Joseph Barbieri. So I believe his Instagram is film Joes, JOS. Yeah. So yeah, he's got some cool stuff. But all of the work we're doing is on our Instagram at Pacific Coast Pictures. That's the most updated way to find us.
Well, that's great, Brogan. Thanks for joining us today. I really enjoyed the conversation and I learned a lot. I hope it must be helpful for others as well. So thank you for joining us today.
Oh my gosh, likewise. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. And yeah, looking forward to chatting soon and everything. You guys have a good one.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Brogan. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.